Hi, hope you're doing well during this stressful, unique time that we're going through. I hope you're staying safe and finding some time, not only some obligated family time, but also time for yourself and exercising as well. Hopefully everything is feeling well. You can do this once or twice a day, whether it's in the morning when you wake up, middle of the day break, whenever something's feeling tight, or the end of the day as well. I'm going to do between 5 to 10 repetitions per exercise. Feel free to follow along with the same thing with that and repeat it, add another set, or pause it, write it down, and then perform the exercise. Make sure to have good form, breathing, staying focused within exercise. And if there are any questions, for sure, let me know. Thanks. All right, this first exercise, it's going to be supine leg whips. So I'm going to be in the supine position, low back against the floor. And I want to make sure when I'm going to each side, I'm not totally bringing the other side hip over. Switching sides. Gonna have to excuse the background. It's kind of the open space we have in our house. So again, taking your time, those outside hip muscles are doing the action. Still in that supine position, but now we're going hip bridges. You want to posteriorly pelvic tilt. And then drive up, squeeze the glutes. Make sure everything is aligned. Glutes and trunk are performing the exercise. For a progression, we can go single leg exercise, and I'll do 5 reps each side. Again, squeezing the glutes, using your trunk to drive up. You should not feel it in your back or quads. Now we're going to transition to the quadruped position, and we're going to do a cat-cow. So I'm going to inhale, chest in, exhale, chest out, breathe out. Nice, good range of motion with that spine. Notice that my knees are under my hips. My hands are, for the most part, under my shoulders from that good position. Breathe. Inhale in, exhale out. I'm just showing you a side view here. We want to make sure our knees are 90. We're going to go to a half kneel, side bend. 90-90 with those knees. So if my right knee is up, my left arm is up, and I'm side bending towards that up knee. I want to make sure I'm not pushing the hip out too much. And then we want to switch sides as well. So my left knee is up, and my right arm going towards that knee. Gonna lose my balance. Now we're going to transition into a short side plank, lateral plank, which is knees are 90, they're bent. And I'm going to stay in that lateral plank position. I'm going to clamshell. So that outside hip is doing that dynamic action. But I'm using my obliques to stay up. My shoulder is stacked over my elbow. Probably could bring my elbow in a little bit. Switching sides. Again, short side, so my knees are 90. I'm aligned. My obliques are keeping in that position. And the outside hip. Let's bring that clamshell. Shoulder stacked over elbow. Breathe in. Stay in a good position. I'm just here in that cube head position just to get me started into an elbow low plank. Elbow is stacked over under shoulders. Bracing the trunk. And here you can hold for anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. I think I struggle with like 10 to 15 seconds. This next one, doesn't look like it, but it's a pigeon stretch here. You can tell my mobility is absolutely terrible. So we can call this one a modified pigeon. You can hold this up to a minute. You can come down to your elbows for another progression. Once you start to feel a bit more relaxed and let the muscles drive in, you can stretch out your arms as well. And then you can also do some tricep dips. And that's going to help with doing a little bit more of a dynamic stretch on that right side hip. And then don't forget to do the other side as well. You would hold those a little bit much longer than what I showed. I start in that tall kneel position, which is knees stacked under hips, hips stacked under shoulders. So we're going to do a groin stretch here with a rotation. So if my left leg is out, my left arm and left T-spine is rotating. So I'm able to drive in a little bit more than I've been now that I've been in that position. And switching sides. Rotate. Really take your time. Again, I'm able to drive in a little bit more from being in that position. All right, so we're going to transition standing up. And we're going to have just do normal squats. Once again, find your squat position. Maybe your base may be a little bit wider. Toes may be pointed out. Make sure we have a good hip hinge. Everything is aligned. The weight is distributed throughout the feet. This next one, we're doing hip hikes. So if my left leg is down, my right side driving up and down. Traditionally, I'm a little shorter, so this doesn't feel too bad, but you would want a elevated surface to be on. So my right foot would be on an elevated surface while my left foot is doing the hip hike, just so you can get a little bit more range of motion. So the elevated surface is a recommendation. You would do each side. Using those obliques and QLs. Transitioning into lateral lunges. You can do one side and finish that side and go to the next, or you can alternate as I do here. You want to try to, my right side looks good where I keep my foot flat and forward. Going to my left foot, my heel tends to come up and point, and foot is pointed out. So make sure our foot is flat as we perform that sit back. My left foot tends to come up. This last one here, we're going lateral leg kicks. Again, using the outside hips and glutes. Again, hopefully you're getting some good exercises in and getting some new time and staying mobile. Any questions, let me know. Thank you.